noisy, exhilarating. The speed these guys hit, amazing. So this is day 2 of the MotoGP. It's a 3-day event. And in day 2 is the qualifying round. Basically, they're qualifying for the big race, which is tomorrow on Sunday. I've been keeping a close eye on Miller. He's the Aussie rider. He rides a Ducati. He's phenomenal. Last week he won. That race was in Japan. So he's hitting his straps, and I'm hoping he brings home a victory tomorrow. I haven't taken too much video footage, basically because I've just been soaking it all up. This is my first MotoGP event, and I've absolutely loved it. I've also had a few Changs, funny enough. Chang International Circuit, the official beer here is Chang, and I've been knocking down a few because it's so hot. So I've been trying to keep hydrated, basically. But it's, yeah, amazing event. Now I'm on this little corner here, which is it's the corner just before their home straight. So they come down here, the home straight. So I'm in the big grandstand. Now it's amazing the lean that they get on. First of all, the speed that they generate down here. Then they have to brake hard, and then the lean they get on their bike, and then they need to regain control, and then they accelerate again. And when they accelerate, just down here, what I've been watching, I've been fascinated with. Most of them get up on the front wheel, lifts up because they accelerate so much that their front wheel is lifted. But it's been amazing. It's been a really, really good experience. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow for the big competition. Now there's 3 different classifications. There's the MotoGP, which is the big one, and they're the 1000cc bikes. Then there's the Moto2, and those bikes are up to 600cc. And Thailand has a rider in that race. He's number 35, and he's riding for the Honda team. So all the locals, his name is Chantra. So all the locals are hoping that Chantra gets up and has a win this week. Now, interestingly, his teammate is a Japanese guy, and last week in Japan, the Japanese teammate won. So it'd be nice if the Thai rider got up and had a win for Honda. So that's the MotoGP 2 classification. No, sorry, yeah, MotoGP 2, and then the Moto 2 classification, and then there's a Moto 3 classification, and that's for smaller bikes. That's 250cc is the limit. And there's also a little age limit on the riders, so that's for the younger riders. So that's coming up tomorrow as well. So today's been phenomenal. I've really, really loved it. The noise here is just absolutely deafening. When these bikes accelerate, it's just phenomenal. You can just feel it. Now, there's a couple of events that are set up around here. There's some stands and stuff like that, and I understand there's a musical act on tonight. So I'm going to have a little bit of a wander around behind the grandstand here and see what I can find. Maybe buy some merch. Maybe have a few more Changs. But I've also spotted Thunder Stadium, which is the Buriram United football stadium over there, and they've actually got a game on tomorrow night. So this race here is going to finish about 3 p.m, 4 p.m, something like that. And then the football starts up. The local team's going to be playing at 7 p.m. So I want to go to that. I really want to go to that. It's this the stadium here, the Thunder Stadium, the Thunder Dome, is the only purpose-built football stadium in all of Thailand. That means like every other football stadium's got a running track, so this is the only one without a running track. So I want to go, but the only problem is I've got to convince my wife and daughter, so I'm going to knock back another Chang. By the way, I'm not a big Chang fan, but the Chang cold press, it's very good. They're really slowing down quite easily. I'm going to have a few of these and contemplate how I'm going to convince my wife and daughter to stick around in Buriram tomorrow on a Sunday night and watch a match of football. It's going to be difficult to convince them because they're really not interested in sport. And it's a Sunday night, and my daughter's got to go to school and my wife's got to go to work the next day. Anyway, I'll work on something. There's is where all the teams are and where they get work on their bikes. And I can see one of the riders who's just the KTM rider. He's taking an ice bath just down there. And over this side here, we've got also the workshops where all the action is. Cannabis was just legalized in Thailand, so Buriram is actually the home of Anutin, who is the health minister, who was instrumental in legalizing cannabis. And it looks like there's a big, some kind of a festival coming up, and these are indeed marijuana plants here at Chang International Stadium. I don't know what it's about. There's a few comedians and a bit of live music. Maybe just a big ganja fest, who knows. So I found the big stage set up. There's the Chang stage for tonight's big performance. But I'm actually looking above that at those dirty big clouds. I'm a bit worried about the rain that may be coming in. But there's also the Chang house with its indoor venue here, and the music's pumping already. The Chang's flowing. It's a good vibe here. I like it. Triumph. I used to have a Triumph. Of Bonneville. Oh, I love Triumphs. Going in, hopefully I can find something to buy. I found the perfect shirt in the Triumph booth. They didn't have my size. So I got a bottle opener instead, Triumph can opener. So I didn't leave empty-handed. It's actually quite common for me wandering around Thailand. I see a pair of shoes I like or a shirt I like, not my size. So I'm kind of used to that. Sensation out here. There's a bit of a shopping frenzy going on. So many people are trying to buy something. I'm guilty. I've just been going into shop after shop trying to find something, that perfect kind of take-home piece of shirt or a hat or whatever. That I want that one piece, that one little memento of the occasion. And I'm not the only one. Like I just had a look at some of the shirts on that rack. It's just a frenzy. People are like trying to find something. Everyone's so excited about being here. They want to take a little piece of it home with them. So I found a shirt, Ducati shirt. So I'll save that one for tomorrow when the big race is on. Anyway, time for a beer and a little bit of a rock concert. I hear there's something happening on the big stage. So I've just arrived to Chang International Raceway, and they've got their own, this is called the Sand Castle, and it's a replica of Prasat Phnom Urong, which is where we just visited earlier. So there's a buzz in the air. Everything's quite exciting here. But anyway, let's go get our tickets and enjoy a bit of MotoGP. Things to look for when you know you're in Buriram. Buriram United t-shirts and marijuana. Just in the back of this ute, this guy's got a few marijuana plants. It's a pretty common sight around here. Welcome to Buriram. Chang beer, these cool old trucks here. I actually see them out in the farms a lot, but it's really good concept here. They've used them as the shuttle buses here. And another thing, a telltale sign you know you're in Buriram. Marijuana. A big paddock, a big display here, full of ganja. Welcome to the Chang International Circuit. Here's a nice touch. The marijuana plantation is being guarded is. Really feel like I'm in the country now. Now, tyres actually play a significant part in MotoGP. Now, a few years back, they brought in a rule that there's actually a tyre spec. That means all motorcycles have to use the same tyres. Now, there's 3 tyres to choose from. There's the wet weather tyre, the soft tyre, and the hard tyre. Now, the hard tyre is built for speed, so it's not as good for cornering. It doesn't cling to the road as well, but it's really good for going fast in a straight line. The soft tyres, however, really grip the road, so cornering, they're exceptionally good for cornering. However, the problem with the soft tyres is they burn out. They actually start to fall apart. So managing, if a rider actually has some soft tyres, they've got to be really careful with how they kind of manage them and take care of the soft tyres. So they have a distinct advantage for the grip, but there's a big disadvantage with the amount of wear that they incur. And then the other tyre is the wet weather tyre. Now today it looks like it might even rain. So there's an important decision for teams to make as to which tyres they put on their bikes. Because if you've got a wet weather tyre, it's going to be great for the rain, but if the rain stops and the track dries out, the wet weather tyres are terrible. So tyres are have a big part in today's race. Actually, when I was a kid, I grew up on a farm, so it's actually taken me back jumping in the back of a truck. I haven't jumped in the back of a truck and ridden on a bumpy road for a long time, so I'm already having a good time, and I haven't even got to my seat. They're well and truly the cheap seats. In fact, they're the free seats. Actually, not a bad view. Keep that in mind for next year. Here, gate number 1, and over here we've got the big stage set up for tonight's party, of course sponsored by Chang Beer. So you can already hear the party music pumping, get everyone in the mood. Moto2 is about to start, and Thai rider number 35 is in pole position. 30 seconds till the start. Actually, the rain's just started, so some of them are actually changing the tyres. There's about 6 minutes to go, and lots of tyres are getting changed right now.
1,200 ไร่กับระยะทาง 4.554 กิโลเมตรครับเป็นในเรื่องราวของแข่งกอล์ฟและแจ้งมาจากเวสต์มินสเตอร์ครับตอนนี้ประกาศเวสเซสชั่นครับประกาศเป็นเวสเซสชั่นครับ
A change of tyres and the warm-up laps begin. a dry track for the warm-ups this morning, but then just about 10 minutes before the start of Moto2, it started raining. Noise is phenomenal. But with the rain, there was a lot of last-minute tyre changes. And on the first lap of Moto2, the tyre rider was actually in the lead. The crowd's gone wild. And we've had two riders fall off before they've completed their first lap, so it's pretty exciting. Anyway, I'm getting back in there with a beer and going to enjoy the rest of the race. So the race has been stopped, red flag, because it's just way too wet out there. Now because the minimum distance, 2/3, has not been completed of the race, they're actually going to restart the race. So the rain's kind of stopped a little bit now, so I don't know how long it's going to take until the race is restarted, which is pretty exciting. It's very wet out there, a lot of water, pretty dangerous, especially on this straight just here. You can see aquaplaning a little bit when they were trying to accelerate and their balance, they were just losing it a bit, so it did get a bit too dangerous here. So when they restart, it's going to be a 5-lap sprint. Don't know how long it's going to take, but it should be pretty exciting. The track will still be a bit wet, but the rain has stopped. 5-track sprint coming up. So way too wet. The Moto2 race has been cancelled. There's not going to be any restart. There's way too much rain. So that means because they didn't reach the 2/3 of the race finish, they're going to now only award half the points. And now we wait and see. Hopefully this rain passes and the MotoGP proceeds. tonight when Buriram is playing, I'm not going. My wife was the kibosh on that one. My wife said, no, we need to get home. We got jobs and we need to go to on Monday, and we've got a daughter who needs to go to school, so no Buriram live match tonight. In fact, I'll be watching it on TV instead. Which actually makes me think of the question, what is a better sporting experience, live or TV?
โอ้โหมีแฟนๆแบบมาเยอะมากครับทุกอย่างมาครบเลยสำหรับใครที่แต่งรถไม่เป็นนะครับแนะนำครับซื้อรุ่นนี้ครับจบเลยครับแต่งมาให้เรียบร้อยนะครับกำลังจะเข้าสู่บรรยากาศทำวอร์มอัพแลป1รอบก่อนแล้วก็รถจะกลับมาจอดที่พิทสตาร์ทนะครับก่อนที่จะทำการแข่งขันทั้งหมด25 รอบในรุ่นของ MotoGPขึ้นมาอยู่อันดับที่2แจ็คมิลเลอร์อันดับ3ครับมาถึงอันดับที่4ครับ
Managed to get the race done before the big storm hit, and with the waft of marijuana in the air, I'm leaving the stadium. The KTM team were the winners today, and Jack Miller, the Aussie rider on the Ducati, came second. That was the guy I was rooting for. So it was a good day out, really good day out. Now I haven't managed to convince my wife and daughter to go to the Buriram football match, so I'm going to call it a day now. We're going to head back to Bangkok after an outstanding weekend trip to Buriram. As I kind of wander and conclude, I do still come back to that question about I love sports, but what is better, the live viewing experience or the television experience? Like, it was a fair bit of an effort to get to come from Bangkok all the way to Buriram for the MotoGP, and I'm trying to weigh it up in my mind. I've got a fairly long journey back, about 5 hours back to Bangkok, to weigh up whether it was really worth it or not. I had a brilliant time. I really did love it, but was it better off staying in going to a local pub to watch it, or sitting on the couch at home watching it? Because you get the commentary and you get close-ups and things like that, so that's something I'm going to ponder as I drive home.